Hey everybody, I wanted to take a second and give you an update from Canada. I know I don't do it enough and I apologize, but I get busy and just forget. So this one is important though. We're getting ready to kick off a campaign called One More Matters. And the whole premise behind it is we are going to reach one more. We're going to reach one more young person for the Lord Jesus Christ, to encourage a young person to get active in their faith, to reach one more non-Christian, to reach one more pastor. One more matters, and I'll tell you about that in a second. But Canada, here's what happened. When I initially was going to go there, they had me sign this paper, and I've never signed this anywhere that I've gone before, about essentially that if I got arrested for what I said, I was on my own. They weren't going to be held at fault for it. Very interesting. I thought, do I really want to go there? I mean, is it that bad? Two pastors have been arrested in the last year for taking a stand on traditional marriage, right? And in my head, I thought, well, they had an option to do a video. I said, well, I'll just send a video. And they said, no, please. This is the first time we've been able to do a live event since COVID. So would you please come live? And I said, okay. So we did it. And if I end up in jail, then I end up in jail. So nothing like that happened. To be very honest with you, it was amazing. The people were super kind, just unbelievably nice. I mean, just to give you an example, I was going to church on Sunday. Mr. Guy, who's the chairman of the group up there that brought us in, we're driving and he said, oh, we got to make a pit stop here real quick. And he didn't say pit stop because it's Canada, it's some other stop, but you know what I'm saying. So he pulled off to the side of the road and goes over and he pulls into this little outlet. And one of the guys that I'd had lunch with the day before, a guy named Larry, they had made amazing food, but they thought that they had brought a Saskatoon berry pie, but it turned out to be a blueberry pie. And he was telling me how good Saskatoon berry pie was. I'd never tried it. Blueberry was delicious, but they didn't have Saskatoon berry. So this guy, he and his wife, when they went home, she made a Saskatoon berry pie and brought me some pieces so that on my way to church the next morning, I had these pieces of pie to take with me. Just unbelievably gracious and kind. But a couple things that I thought you would like to know. Number one, mainly mature folk at this meeting up there, okay? Not my primary demographic. You know I like going after younger generation. Well, during the conference, I did have one young lady come up to me with her dad. And her dad came up and said, you know, this is my daughter. She was too shy to come up. She's got a question. Would you talk to her? And I'm like, absolutely. And so she talks with me. And her question was, she goes, I attend a small Christian school here. Would you be willing to come in and speak at our chapel? Absolutely. I'm not there this time to do it, but I will be going back to Calgary. And I told her, when I come the next time, I will be in your chapel. Even if I got to come in early, I'm going to go do that chapel. This young lady was so encouraged that we would come do that. And I'm like, how could I not do it? What an amazing opportunity to reach younger generation, right? Well, the other story, you see, that's one more. That's encouraging one more young lady to stand firm in her faith. But here's one more story from Pastor Rob. He's also on the committee that brought the whole meeting together up there in Canada. He pastors a church in Irricana, Canada. It's about 45, 50 minutes outside of Calgary. And Irricana stands for Irrigation Canal. That gives you an idea. It's a small community. We drove by a bunch of farms to get there. Very small community. There's one other church that I saw in town, and it hosts inclusive weddings and the whole thing. Just liberal as all get out. But Pastor Rob, his church is standing firm. Pastor Rob inspired me. Here's a man that was in the corporate world, making money, left because he was called to go do ministry, called to come to Irricana, sets a church up, doing well, but then COVID hit, 2020, changes everything. He refuses to shut the doors because he's like, no, I'm not going to shut the doors. So people were tattletaling on him and all that kind of a thing. And so they're threatening fines and all this stuff. And his congregation said, we can't do this. You have to abide by the rules, the laws. You can't do this. He refused to shut down. He kept holding church. His people left. So now he's hurting. He had to use all of the money that he had in his savings to pay for the rent, to pay for everything to survive. Well, now he's got a congregation about 45, 50, and it's all people that have to drive up to an hour to come to church there. And so when I got done, this guy was so humble and so hungry and so appreciative of the fact that I would come there. He was nearly in tears as he talked to me. He said, I just can't believe you'd come and speak to our tiny church. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You're the guy that's doing the hard work. I'm blessed to come out and to know people like that and to encourage people that are really doing ministry like that. Your support helps us to do that, because let's be honest. You know, if a church doesn't have the funds to bring us, Juan was just over in Costa Rica, we went. We just go wherever it is. Frank just spoke to a group of, I think it was 10 people. We go. One more matters to us, very genuinely and very sincerely. Your support helps us to do that. And I want to say thank you. Your prayers, greatly appreciated. But I also want to make you aware of an opportunity that you can help us. This One More Matter campaign is because we believe that one more person matters. One more young person getting excited about their faith. One more young lady like Gabby getting excited and going out and training even more young people to share their faith. One more pastor like Pastor Rob that we can go out and encourage. They matter. And so, if you'd like to help us, all you need to do is text the number 24365. That's the recipient, 24365. And in there, you type in one more. So ONEMORE. One more is the message to 24365, the number. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. One more. You'll be given an opportunity to support us, $1 a month. That's not going to break anybody's bank, but we think that if we can get enough people to support us like that, that's going to change everything for us, and we will keep going. One will keep going to Dominican Republic, to Costa Rica, to Colombia. We're doing it already, but boy, we could use your help to keep doing it. We'll keep going to the youth groups. We'll keep going and doing the camps, the training. We need you. I appreciate you, and I do hope that you're encouraged to see what is happening because of you partnering with us. God bless you. Stay bold.